Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today, I have the 300th cast on the channel. I want to shout out to every single one of you for helping support the channel and for watching up to this point in my YouTube career of casting Forged Alliance Forever matches. Thank you so very much, and I'm in it for the next 300. Let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players in a 4v4 custom match here on the most famous map of all time in Supreme Commanderdom. It is SETON'S Clutch, starting off with Team 1 in the northeast, ending with Team 2 in the southwest. Starting up with Team 1's Rigorous sub player, it is Foley going first land as a Seraphim in orange color orange. He is a 2300 to his west. In Glow in the Dark Green, it is the Seraphim player of Protect going first land. He is a 2200 in the beach slot. To his south in Snow White, we have the UEF commander of Cheeseberry going first land, second land as well in Snow White. He is a 2200, and rounding out Team 1's roster in the clip position in the east, it is Robo Gear going first land, second air in Imperial Gray as a 2100. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 3 Seraphim and 1 UEF, which means they lack Aeon and Cybern technology. Starting off with Team 2's regular sub player in Stitch Blue, it is Terrari going first land as a UEF. He is a 2600, the highest ranked player on Team 2 and in the game overall. Team 1's being Foley at 2300 is the highest on his team. In the beach position to the east, we have Swatoslav going first land as a UEF as well. He is a 2200 in Amethyst Purple going second air. To his north in Emerald Green, it is Pants. He is going first land and land all day. He is a Cybern, and he is a 2000 rated in the middle causeway slot. And to his west in the clip slot here for Team 2, it is the Light Oak Tan player of VIP going first land, second air as a Seraphim. He is a 2000 rated player. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 2 UEF, 1 Cybern, and 1 Seraphim, which means Team 2, just like Team 1, do not have any Aeon players. Apologies to those lows to the Princess. You're not represented in this game, but hopefully you will enjoy it nonetheless. And of course, remember, Team 1 also does not have access to Cybern technology. And of course, with 8 players on the map in SETON'S, how much mass is on the map left before they scoop it all up? 13,000 mass for 8 players, which means it is over 1.5k mass per play. And of course, a lot of it is in that middle causeway, which players are already moving to claim. And obviously, the mechs positions are set. It is a man-made map, meaning the mechs has never changed. There are, of course, the islands that these cliff players obviously want, that the beach players will try to deny. We do see, of course, those comms getting very, very close in the middle of the map here between Cheeseberry and Pants. And I had a viewer the last time I cast SETON'S ask me which set of Reclaim to go first, either for the Salem Rex on the northern side or on the Little Rex. I think they are Titans, I think is what some of them are. I don't know what the exact models are for each of the Death Clones. But I feel like for me it all depends. If I'm Team 1, I would want my beach player to go after the Salem Rex because they're a little bit closer to him, especially going for the middle wreck at a minimum and then starting with the one closer to him, so he gets, of course, 2/3 of the Salem Rex. And if Team 2, obviously Swab is in that slot for Team 2. He will, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard. Do you still go after the Salem Rex? Do you go after the Little Rex? I guess it's just preference and how soon you leave. If you leave immediately, go after the Little Rex, but if you take a little bit of time, maybe go for the Salem Rex. I'm not a pro in this game. You'd have to ask a pro for their opinion, a bit more educated opinion, more, of course, they've lived it, they've learned, and they have, of course, sweat, blood, and tears on what side of the Reclaim to go for. But of course, let me know down in the comments what you think is your best approach to go for Reclaim in the middle causeway to get the early mass in your coffers and turn it into very fun units or structures, or just throw it at one another with your units, because that's always fun to do. We do see Pants getting ganged up by Cheeseberry and Protect from Team 1, but Swatoslav is coming to assist. We do see Pants going to try to retreat into the water. He is in the yellow already. We see reinforcements outbound from the middle causeway players trying to distract each other's units And again, leave this to just a calm engagement. But the advantage here for for Pants, is Pants was able to use the advantage of being lower to the ground, and a couple of shots outbound from Cheeseberry are missed due to that fact. We do see, of course, now Pants back out of the water, focusing on Protect, and Swadoslav focusing on the units, getting a little bit of veterancy into his repertoire, trying to, of course, not tech up, but rep up. I think it's rep up, but vet up. Hey, vet up. I'm trying to get some more hit points on board that commander. 2 of the players on Team 2 are in the yellow. 2 of the players on Team 1 are in the yellow. And it's pretty even. We have, of course, a UEF and a Siren versus a UEF and a Seraphim. So hit points advantage is slightly in favor of Team 1. But Team 2 are not giving up just of yet. I love this engagement here from Team 2. They're on the edge of the range of Protect's, obviously effective range, which means it was definitely a 2v1 for just a little bit of that walk. Those hit points dropped a lot faster for Cheeseberry than they did for Slaughterslav and Pants. Unfortunately here for Team 2, there's a lot of reinforcements outbound from Cheeseberry, and so this will favor, at least in the unit totals, for Team 1. But Protect still trying to act as a nice little shield for his teammate of Cheeseberry, and a lot of the action from the comms from Team 2 are focusing on the units, again trying to get that veterancy up to 1,000 so we can get 10% more hit points and a little bit more regen on board their commanders. It does take a lot of shots to take out a bog standard commander with a bog standard commander. Cheeseberry did drop into the red, but he'll get back into the yellow here pretty shortly. There, oh nope, looks like he lost a little bit of hit points there. But Slaughterslav and Pants still in the yellow for their teams. Looks like at least totals about the same. I'd say 8,000 hit points. It's about 8,000 hit points, a little bit more than that for both of the players total. So in terms of damage, both teams getting out essentially the same amount. Unfortunately for Team 2, Team 1 has a lot more units online. We'll start pressuring Team 2, especially with getting some frontline Team 1 mechs and facilities to be able to pump out more and more units. But for the most part, the attack in the middle has essentially petered out. Both of the respective players in the cliff slot have grabbed their islands. Unfortunately here for Team 2's cliffside player, VIP, his engineers have been killed off. And that means that it does open the door for Team 1 to either claim the island, which I have seen done before, or just constantly deny it. Bomber outbound from Team 1's Protect, able to take out a ton of engineering support here for Team 2's only naval facility here. So it will slow down the production of naval units for Team 2's player. And we do see the cliff player of Team 1's RoboGear bringing in that transport to get a huge benefit of this island, and this will supercharge his eco in the water in the southeastern section, which means Team 2 will be pushed back a lot faster. The comm of VIP himself moving to that island to personally oversee its construction and fruition, but there are interceptors on the tail of VIP's commander. He will make it to that island, but transport will have taken a couple of shots to the back. Its engines are definitely failing, and will it get shot down? We will have to see. Maybe, maybe not. That was very close here from Team 2's VIP. He took the risk. It was definitely a calculated one. Almost got destroyed, but does make it out of harm's way. And he'll be, again, isolated on that island. But there's not really a lot of threats from Team 1's Navy, so not really a huge risk. But he has to start thinking about Team 1 is pumping out a little bit more Navy than Team 2 currently, which means VIP's not in the best slot. Team 1 advancing that land army on the middle causeway. T2 units on the front lines. PD creep starting to occur here for Cheeseberry against Pants. Pants getting an air facility online probably for T1 bombers, I would assume, to just spam some bombs out against his opponent. Slaughterslav still on the front lines with his teammate, and his radar his team's radar have been taken out. So no intel gathering operations for Team 2 at the moment, but Terrari does have a T2 facility a little bit further back. Actually, it's a Team 1, excuse me. Oh, it's upgrading to T2, excuse me. So almost a T2 facility. This is the ring of radar here currently. Once it gets upgraded, that is the new ring. So a decent amount of, not vision, but at least intelligence gathering here for Team 2. But in the position of the cliff for VIP, engineers have landed. Team 1 PD has been spammed up, and his mechs are just being ripped to shreds. 2 of them are gone. And there are also some frigates in the bay nearby. And VIP just control Ks. Looks like he was on board a transport and it was shot down. I am going to cut the video at the end of the video to show exactly what happened. I'm assuming it was just some interceptors that came in and killed off the transport, which means he died. So the very risky play of VIP ends up backfiring on him, and he will be the first to vacate the premises. It is now a 3v4 in favor of Team 1. And again, in the middle of the map, Team 2's Causeway player Pants going for a gun speed and range upgrade. Trying to, again, be very, very aggressive, or at least try to defend aggressively. Or aggressively defend, I guess is the other way to phrase that. Team 2's Teaseberry still pushing in on Team 2's territory. So Team 1 really trying to make the middle causeway work for them. And so far it is, especially with Team 1's Eastern player of RoboGear in Team 2's naval slot of Slatoslav. His facilities are just not feeling good here. A couple of them still alive. Team 1 Torque Launcher trying to do what it can. We'll take out a couple of those frigates before it dies. And even if Team 1 does not deny the Navy, it has done a lot of work to slow it down. More frigates running around the little pond here in the southeast, and it's very much looking like Team 1 has both navies in hand for the time being, especially with the invasion on the land here by Team 1's RoboGear as well. So not only is he invading Team 2's Slatoslav in the Navy in the southeast, he's also invading on land in the Navy slot against now Terrari, who was taken over for VIP. And Terrari, he does have 2 bases. He's sitting at 156 mass income, a little bit more than his opponent of Folly. Folly at T3 Air, and I'm assuming, yep, T3 Air also online here for Terrari. So both of the rearguard airstrike players have T3 Air. I mean, we're talking about a 2300 and 2600. They know how to play this game. They probably played, which, I mean, I'm assuming, which would be the case, a lot of SETON'S, so they know just probably down to the second how much mass, how much energy, when to move, how much to move, and how many interceptors to build, and then switch to just T3 Air, whatever the case may be. These players have played it. They've done the math. They've done the work. And that's one of the reasons why I like casting high, rated SETON'S games, because this is where we see into the pinnacle of SETON'S play in this game. Stealth coming online here for Team 2's Pants. And he's trying to, again, he's probably going to go for Nano to try to rep up some more hit points. He's still in the yellow, still trying to do what he can to force back Team 1. Missile launchers are online. Team D trying to blitz those missiles down. The downside of Cybern missiles, though, is that they split, so some damage is still pushing through, which means Cheeseberry needs even more TMD, or he'll just take the hit and retreat. Middle Causeway is one of those positions where even if you secure it and you secure one of the navies, if the other naval slot, being the southeast or the northwest, collapses for your team, good luck with any causeway defense, because there's a very narrow neck of land. Boats, T2, even T1 can just sit here and just destroy everything. So it's just one of those things where middle causeway only realistically works long game if that same team has both of the navies, or at least most of the ponds. We see another transport laden with some engineers outbound from RoboGear, going very aggressive with his engineer drop in the bases of Team 2. Those engineers will make landfall and immediately probably build some Team 1 PD, some AA something. PD has been started here to start nipping away at Team 2's Eco. We can already see Team 1 almost leading by 100 in mass income, and on SETON'S, that is pretty big considering it is 13.5 minutes. T2 Cruiser, it is Seraphim, which means missiles are online, and Pants will be forced to retreat. Team 1 will secure it. They took a little bit of loss with some TMD and PD. The Team 2 will have to retreat, and that stealth upgrade was canceled, and it was pretty high. I think it was like 60s or 70 or something. That's got to hurt all that mass and energy spent for that. And the radar is also taken down, which means Team 2 has no intel. And that is going to hurt radar. Also online here for RoboGear, going to be able to provide those T1 PD with some nice shots. A bunch of them have been built. 4 of them, in fact, have already killed off a T2 Mechs and kill off a second one. And Team 2 is suffering so far in this game at 14 minutes. Looks like control of the island gifted over to Protect from Cheeseberry. Who owned, not Cheeseberry, who owned that? Somebody owned that, and then somebody gave it away. Don't I didn't catch who it was, but look at this. The blockade has formed here for Team 1, so they owned the northwestern side of the map, that being the northern pond. Team 2 trying to force back Team 1 in the southeastern pond, but I feel like their days are kind of numbered. Two Teams 2's benefit, though. They do have T2 Navy online. Team 1 does not, but Robogear, of course, has his island online, so he's going to be able to out-eco his beach opponent. Not necessarily quickly, but that usually is the case, that the cliffside player usually has the advantage in the Navy. Not necessarily skill level, but in terms of mass and all of that. Can you scout? Please says protect. You always have to scout. Is that even a question? You always have to get intel. That's never a no, you cannot scout. It is a we need to scout. We need to know what's going on. And we see Cheeseberry with the tactical missile online. That little tiny backpack. Well, big backpack to be fair. With a nice little missile. He might upgrade to Billy Nuke, and that would be devastating for Team 2. On top of losing the northern pond and the middle causeway and being forced back on land, if Team 1's Cheeseberry goes for Billy Nuke, that is going to eviscerate essentially anything near the water. And missile outbound here for Cheeseberry, going after the T2 naval headquarters for Svatoslav. And that is going to impact. That is going to hurt. I don't know if it kills it off entirely. I think it does. I mean, it does a decent amount of damage. It doesn't kill it off. 6,000 hit points. So 2 more will destroy that facility. Immediately, a repair order has been ordered, and another missile is outbound. Looks like the mobile missile launches here from Team 2's Pants, trying to hold off that land army from Cheeseberry. But again, he's kind of switched a little bit of his tactics, going for missiles against his southern naval opponent. It looks like he's taking out these support facilities for Svatoslav as we speak. T3 Air also online here for Svatoslav, so he has access to ASFs and strat bombers, and also T3 gunships. Always a good thing to have, especially in the naval slot where you just want to pump out damage very, very quickly. And teleporter has been started here for Terrari. He is a UEF, so maybe he'll go for a teleportation Billy Nuke. We have seen those be very effective in this channel, but we'll just see if he does go for that. He might go for early game ender. He might go for artillery nuke, something to really fight back against Team 1, because currently Team 1 really oppressive. They own more than 50% of the map and close to, I'd say, 75% with the naval build-up here for Team 1's Robogear. Robogear really kicking it into high gear. There is my dad joke for the day, if you can call it a dad joke. If it's not a dad joke, I don't know what it is, because I don't know. I think dad jokes are very entertaining. That is my 2 cents on dad jokes. But tons of TMD have been built. So there's a lot of parashields covering for the T2 shield that has been at least taken of all of its shield capacity, drained of all its shield capacity. There, that's a better word for it. Pants, again, has gone online. Veterancy, 2-star veterancy on board. That commander doesn't have stealth, doesn't have nano, because he was denied stealth earlier on, so probably needs to go for stealth and nano at a minimum if he's going to stay really, really aggressive here. Usually the middle causeway kind of just avoids into you build a wall, I build a wall, you stay on either side of the walls and just kind of just hang out and assist in the Navy, which, again, to be fair, Cheeseberry is technically doing, which is sending his comm in the water and throwing some missiles. But he's just, you know, he's not really, he's just actually really focusing on land, very surprisingly. Hasn't dipped into Navy as of yet. Doesn't need to dip into his team's Northern Navy, because his teammate Protect already has that under lock and key. Team 2 trying to re-expand here. Terrari trying to get those mexes back online. Of course, the TMLs on board those cruisers from the Seraphim faction are very, very annoying to deal with. Very, very quick on spamming out all of those missiles. And, of course, the UEF can do the same. And Team 2 can get in the position to do that if they get a nice little opening to do so. But I don't think they will. Team 1's going to keep that naval position on lock and prevent Team 2 from getting into the Navy once again. T3 coming online here for Cheeseberry. Going to get some more hit points on board that commander, and of course the T3 engineering suite to build anything he wants in the game. He might go for Atlantis. He can build that on board that commander. It would be very early and very far forward to go for Atlantis, but could go for it, as well as could just spam up T3 Navy as well. So could do a lot of things with that commander. Very utilitarian, if that's the word I want to use. It's very useful to use, and he has a lot of options with that. Pants still hasn't gone for his stealth upgrade, very surprisingly. I feel like, especially if he's going to stay on that front line, he needs the stealth and nano at a minimum to stay alive. He doesn't want to be blitzed down by some bombers or gunships or even just artillery from some naval units. But Team 2 is making a little bit of progress in the southeastern section of the map in the southern pond, going after, of course, the T1 attack subs with these Valiant class destroyers that also have torps and torp defense. Team 1 has T2 Navy online. Going for T3. Is Team 2 doing the same? Yes, they do. They have T3 Navy online. That is Slatoslav. He is UEF, which means he has access to the Neptune class battlecruiser, the best unit in the game, in my opinion, to deal with T2 and T1 fleets. And there it is. It is being built as we speak. He didn't go for cruisers, at least not that okay, excuse me, he has one cruiser. He has one cruiser, one destroyer, one bulwark. So he has a shield boat, a missile launching AA capable ship, and a just one-on-one attack boat. Oh, actually he has two destroyers and one Cooper, which is the torpedo boat. So he has all of the tools here for Team 2's, or for UEF tech in the Navy, not Team 2. He is on Team 2. But he's going for the Neptune. Team 1 trying to pressure with some floating naughtiness from the UEF faction of the Riptides. And Cheeseberry trying to, again, assist RoboGear in the Navy. And I love this. He gives everything over in the Navy to his teammate. Not really the best place to do it on the front lines, like right in front of the artillery from these destroyers. But hey, at least they're under his teammates' control. He can micro them a lot better and be able to utilize them a lot more effectively. The destroyer outbound from Team 1 is just sitting there, receiving some missile fire to the face. Probably needs to move, or he will die from that, which he does. So good on him. Team 2's Terrari still sitting in the water with gun upgrade. And just sitting on the teleportation upgrade that will probably never finish. He just wants to sit there and look like he's doing something, maybe. I don't know. He's kind of hanging out, getting his air grid nice and full here in the southwestern corner of the map. And Team 1's Navy, Team 1's Air Force being very just kind of, hey, look at us. Hey, look at me. I'm Mr. Mises. Look at me. Kind of running them on the map here in the south, just making a show of it. Team 1's Cheeseberry on a transport now. So he was in the water. Then he's on a transport. Then he's running around. Hopefully he doesn't get shot down like Team 2's VIP did. And there is Cheeseberry. Is he going to launch a missile? Is he going to launch a missile? Is he going to launch a missile? No, he's going to move into range maybe. Transport does eventually get shot down. So good thing he did get off that transport. T3 Air donated over 2 pants, most likely from... Ooh, I don't know who would that... I mean, maybe Terrari would have gifted that over. He just has one ASF, though it's something. Better than nothing, as I always say. Missile outbound, a little bit bigger, so it's able to be able to detect that a little bit better in terms of that is one from a cruiser, that is one from a comm. Going after some SAMs takes out a decent amount of engineering support, so those will be wiped off the face of the world. And another missile outbound going after... Is it going to kill off some ASFs? Are you really... Okay, no, you drop a low strike going after SMDs. I'm like, are you really going to use a tactical missile on board a comm to take out some ASFs from Team 2? Which would be very entertaining to watch. Not really super useful, but very entertaining to watch. And in the southern pond, Team 2's fleet starting to push back Team 1's fleet as well. That battlecruiser adding a lot of attack power and range to that fleet. Staying underneath that shield coverage more. Torp boats are outbound. These torpedo boats, the Coopers is what they're called. And another Neptune online. Now it's switching over to battleship production. The Summit class battleship coming online. And another one here next to it as well. So 2 battleships going to come online here pretty shortly. Team 1 has some Yasau, some T3 some purchases. They are a glass cannon in this game. They do a lot of damage, but don't have a lot of hit points. 4,000 hit points on a T3 unit versus the 69, nice, 100 hit points on board a T2 destroyer. So just the huge difference there, especially when we're considering a frigate has 2,000 hit points. The T3 sub has doubled its hit points. That's it. Not a lot. Not a lot of hit points, but they are very, very deadly. So if Team 2 doesn't have adequate torp defense, they're going to rip through that fleet very, very quickly. Which, to be fair, there are a decent amount of units that have torp defense, 2 of them, of course, being Neptunes. I think the Cooper also has torp defense, as well as, no, just the Bulwark just has the shield dome. Team 1's air, of course, sitting here behind the comm of Cheeseberry, doesn't want any torp bombs landing near his teammate's commander. And Team 2's middle causeway pair of plants has been forced back due to the artillery fire from these Hathums, the nuclear-capable battleships from the Seraphim faction outbound from Protect. He's going for ARAS as we speak, trying to ratchet up that eco. And speaking of eco, at 24 minutes, Team 1 has 4 players left. Team 2 has 3 players left. Team 1, the eco's going up and down. I'd say 1.7 to be roughly sure. Team 2, 1.1 K mass, which means Team 1's up at least 500 mass at a minimum, if not 600. Nope, that is 600. Since they drop below 1100. And of course, Team 2, they're losing map control a decent amount. The Team 1 has the Northern Navy underlock, and the Southern Navy is definitely back and forth. A little bit probably favor, of course, the Cliffside player. But let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. And of course, if you haven't done so already, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And again, thank you so much for watching at this point in the video. I really do appreciate it. And these torp-capable boats, both from the destroyers and from the Yassos, wreaking havoc on Team 2's fleet. There are a lot of spam units outbound. These units should be just engaging this fleet over here. And it looks like there is some ground firing going on from these summits to try to attack the subs and subs, air quotes, of the destroyers from Team 1's RoboGear's fleet. Looks like they are being dealt with decently well. The torpedo boats from the player of Swallowslop have been kind of a little bit overwhelmed. Some T1 bombers overhead and T2 torp bombers coming in to deal with the rest of the fleet here for Team 2's naval player remaining of Slatoslav. And what is... Ooh, what is this? We see Team 2's Terrari going for the greatest artillery piece in the game. It is a T4 experimental Mavor experimental artillery. The biggest cannon in the game, definitely not overcompensating for anything. And that is how the UEF play it, is big and bold and tanky. And looks like most of those torp-capable ships have been dealt with here. Telly Billy says RoboGear. Don't. Oh, is he saying that's what Cheeseberry should do? But this could turn the game around. Team 2's play for experimental at 26 minutes, even before the 30 minutes that I usually say that in the game should be thought about. And we'll see if that gets constructed, if Team 1 ends up knowing about it. But right now they're dealing with the fleet outbound from Slatoslav, trying to eliminate the last remaining naval player of the game. And ASF's doing a very good job in shielding any sort of intel gathering operations from Team 1. The longer Team 2's Terrari can keep this under wraps is the longer and more effective it is going to last and be, because once Team 1 knows about it, is going to be target priority number 1. Of course, losing Navy, especially in the beach slot, not helpful with protecting that artillery piece. But, you know, he's doing a pretty good job. And again, usually the beach player does get kicked off of his slot, so it's not really like, oh yeah, no, I was just facing off against somebody who had, you know, much better eco, much better skill set, whatever the case may be. It's usually the case in SETON'S, but sometimes we see beach players just really just pummel the face of their opposing cliff opponent. And there are 3 T3 battleships online versus the 1 outbound from RoboGear. So in terms of firepower, Team 2 is in the lead, but of course there are a bunch of Riptides running around wreaking havoc. Don't do a lot of damage to units, but going after engineers definitely is the best way to go, trying to deny Team 2's engineering capabilities and being able to pump out units. And in the northern slot here, this base for Terrari, once owned by VIP, being pummeled by multiple aircraft carriers that also have missiles on board their ships, and as well as the Hathums just really just throwing missiles at Team 2. Terrari's doing a pretty good job at defending. Those Team D can be overwhelmed eventually, and it's only a matter of time before that position falls. And the land push has occurred from Cheeseberry, ignoring the rest of Pants's base, his main base being eradicated. Nice little fire base that was built to his west, at least of the main base. And these T1 and T2 units coming in to wreak havoc in the eco and infrastructure veins of Team 2 Swallowslop. He's being attacked by multiple fronts both from the land and from the sea, and I guess you could say from the air when those port bombers came overhead. Yasau's still pummeling Team 2, and it is not feeling good. Stinger's online to try to just spam up some units. ASFs could easily come and handle this and have those one of them did emerge from its watery depths. They had AA on board at those sub-hunters. So again, very dangerous, because then it makes it very easy for summons to target the Yasau's. But they do have AA, and it looks like Team 2 Swaddleslop has either died or control K'd. No, he was killed off by RoboGear from those Yasau's. It is now a 2v4 in favor of Team 1 at 28 minutes, almost 29 minutes on the clock. Tactical Billy Nuke online here, or coming online here for Cheeseberry in the north. It is already 66% completed, and we could see a scenario in which he is transported up and running around, but there is a lot of AA coverage here for Terrari, so again, has to be very careful where he goes. This is the coverage that he has, so essentially the entire side of his map, and very surprisingly, not in his main base, anywhere else. VIP, of course, pointing out that there is a side overhead for Protect, and of course, they will have noticed that artillery piece that has been started construction and almost done. It's in the green at 7,000 hit points. That thing will finish, and it is going to hurt. Looks like Pants being overwhelmed by some Titans outbound from Cheeseberry and a lot of T2AA, so not going to be able to target him. If they were Cybern, they could target land units. Not as effectively, but they could target land units. It looks like the defense of the beach has commenced here for Team 2 with PD and a bunch of facilities going to be established. A lot of Team 1 spam as well, and of course the tickle cannons coming online to assist. Second satellite over top here for Protect. So Team 1's Seraphim player of Protect has been gifted over some lovely UEF tech, and has also built a third satellite here, and this is it's starting to be dangerous here for Team 1. Critical mass on those satellites is crucial, but that artillery piece will finish. Shield coverage definitely a little bit lacking here for Team 2's Terrari. Does have some SMD planned. Looks like he's thinking that SMD position will fall, which I mean, with one shield, most definitely. So getting some backups would definitely be a smart idea there. 30 minutes on the clock, and there it is. T4 artillery is online. It needs to fully extend and move into position. Looks like it's going after the Comma Protect. Ooh, that's the wrong team. Team 2 knows, or at least assumes, that is the comm. It's the only unit underneath the surface of the water. And it looks like the shots will be firing here pretty shortly. Still has to move that cannon into range. And the artillery here from RoboGear just shelling the beachhead, allowing them to get, well, their own beachhead and securing the land on that side of the map. The land invasion, of course, in the middle still occurring. Looks like it's being slowed down a little bit. And the land incursion, at least by some T1 Lobos and some engineers, is occurring as well for Cheeseberry. So lots of land in this very, very heavy naval map here. And the artillery has started to be fired from that Mavor. What is this down here? Looks like a couple of SACUs have teleported in with a stealth field generator and some AA. Would like to see them build a shield, but they have a stealth field, so it's better than nothing. And that artillery is landing near the commander of Protect. Protect doesn't know about it. He's sitting at 11,500 hit points with a ARAS upgrade. Takes one to the face. One shot, one kill by Team 2's Terrari. Smiley face is going out in chat here. That is, ooh, ouch. Ouch is what that, one shot. Yeah, that was one shot. That has got to hurt. Team 1 loses their first player at 31, almost 32 minutes on the clock. And I would assume the next target is going to be those satellites. And does give a little bit of time for Terrari to realign the artillery piece and go after those satellites. Because the satellites, when they're transferred over to a different player, either obviously by death or just, hey, you should control these, they lose the satellite and have to rebuild them. But one of them just got shot out of the sky, air quotes, because its facility has been destroyed. And with those, not a lot of shields nearby, that's definitely going to be killed off very, very quickly. Looks like the artillery is actually focused now on the air grid for Foley, so trying to get back in this game by taking out Team 1's advantage in the air, whether that be with satellite tech or with, of course, ASFs, or just let it slim, to siege you, whatever would you capture, or just slim it, don't know what's going on. There's Slaughter Slab, but some T3 SACUs, Rambo preset, are coming online, running around the map here, taking out defenses here with Team 2's Terrari. And again, Terrari did a very good job keeping that artillery piece under wraps for as long as he did. It allows him to be able to use it very, very effectively, getting some SMD online and getting more shields. He definitely needs more shields than that. Needs every shield possible surrounding this thing. Doesn't want any counter artillery or lasers to come in and ruin his day. 2 of those satellites are coming into range. Looks like they might target the SMD over here. Teleportation outbound from who? Outbound from RoboGear. He's been either teleported over or transported over, one or the other. He is going to spawn over here, going after that T3 artillery. And he is facing down a lot of PD and a Fat Boy as well. Takes out one of the shield emitters. But of course, there's a lot of PD firing at him, trying to shoot them the best they can. But unfortunately, he is killed off. It is now a 2v2 game here. Team 2 has scored 2 kills, both of them by Terrari against Team 1, which means it is a 2v game. Now we can win, says Slatoslav. Foley can dismoral. What? Can you not? Says Foley. What? I don't know what's going on with that. Don't need to know about mass fabs. Looks like the last satellite is the target, and there it goes. The last satellite has been destroyed here by Team 2's artillery piece of the Naval. It's killed off 167,000 mass on his way to a 1-star veterancy. We do see that once in a while from game enders, but it just depends on how long they live. With 121 kills, though, that's a lot of kills. I mean, that could also mean, of course, structures too. It counts structures as kills. Wish there was a way to tally like units versus structures. So you could be like, oh, it's killed off 30 units, but it's also killed off 800 structures or whatever value you want to give it. But look at the land invasion from Team 1's Cheeseberry not letting up. He did build a Billy Nuke on board the back of his commander, and I don't know where this went. Looks like they teleported out of there. I don't really know what was going to come of that, but something did. And some of the satellite wrecks that Team 2's Terrari can scoop up. He needs to go massive SMD production, I would assume, because of course Team 1 has access to some Hathum-capable nuke ships, and looks like they're going to group up over here in the south and I think just start building them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them available for Team 1's Foley to use. He has 1.4k thousand mass. Team 2's Terrari and Pants sitting at only 290,000, not 290,000, 290 mass. That's it. That's all they got. You can see all of the mexes that have been eradicated. So Team 1 in the lead for mass. Team 2 has the artillery piece. So the longer that this goes on, the better Team 2 will be in, because it's just taking out eco, taking out infrastructure, taking out PGens. Most of that air grid goes up in smoke. T3 air facility has been destroyed. At least the headquarters has been destroyed, which means no more T3 air for Foley. He has what he has, what was already being built. You can build air from the carrier, says Protect, and he can. Loading in a bunch of units, it looks like. No, just focusing on missile production. Looks like that's what he's doing. Gunships running around here for Terrari as well, trying to again stave off the land threat. 35 minutes on the clock, almost 36. And it looks like those battleships are loading as we speak. They're not really firing, they're just hanging out the slow march of the orange bar on the bottom of those green bars. And looks like teleporter has been started here for Terrari, going for Billy Nuke. And his shields are down at the moment. SMD production has been stopped. And he needs to balance that power generation, because he might lose some SMDs very, very quickly if he does not marker them effectively. Terrari builds another experimental, going for, again, those Fat Boys for land defense. There's a lot of Team 1 spam outbound from multiple players on Team 1, being obviously the last 2 remaining players on Team 1. And look at all of the devastation. At 36 minutes, how much mass is on the map in terms of reclaim? 164,000. Pretty good. Sitting on mostly Team 2 side of the map that technically Team 1 is occupying. Looks like some SACUs have been destroyed. Don't know where, but I heard the explosion. And looks like some engineering. Maybe there was artillery being built. I don't know. But it was denied, so we don't really know what that was. Probably could have been a Naval, could have been artillery or T3, but it's no longer alive, and the wreck has been destroyed as well. Teleporter has almost been finished here for Terrari. I don't know where he's going with that. He has the Mavor. He needs to build more shielding. Going for teleporter. Maybe he wants to get out of there before he gets sniped, maybe? But where is he going to go? There's nowhere on the other... You know, he could sit in a corner of the map, but Team 1's, you know, spy planes could easily see him. A large group of spy planes, speaking of which, outbound from Foley. And it's not really looking good. Team 1's other teammate, or a live player of Cheeseberry over here to the east. And how are those Hathums producing? Well, they're about halfway done. It looks like at least some of them are. So there's currently 7 of them loading. This one just kind of hanging out. And the spy planes have begun orders to view what's going on over here. And is there any Corsairs? Actually, there's no Corsairs on Team 1. Are there any Janus? Are there any, you know, Ambassador T3 Strat Bombers? Are there anything in the air that could target those SMDs or anything? No. And that, again, is the downside with heavy focus on Navy for this map, is eventually it becomes ineffective because the Rigard Ursa player is really well protected, especially from the northern side. Not as much from the eastern side or the western side, depending on which side of the map we're talking about. Looks like there are some, not the fighter bombers, so we went for, oh, he is Seraphim. Duh. I thought he was UEF. It looks like he's going after Pants. Pants has been found by Team 1. And Pants is able to dodge a decent amount of those bombs. Does take some AoEs. ASFs do come in here from Terrari. They don't kill all of them off, unfortunately, for Pants. Pants, will you survive another pass through? Oh, it's not. Oh, he does pass. He does dodge a little bit. Oh, he's dropping. He's in the yellow still. There's a decent amount of AA nearby, so it's going to be able to take out the rest of that bomber fighter squadron. Oh, he's not feeling too good. Drops another set of hit points. He's still alive, but it's not looking good. We have SACUs charging the front door here for Team 1's Foley, just running around the map, going after anything and everything. Of course, massive waves of ASFs going after those gunships. Team 1 will lose air... Well, no, they won't. That was just a small detachment of ASFs. And I like the comment by Cheeseberry. Of course, it's automated. Can you give me some mass? Foley sitting at 1.3k mass income, and Cheeseberry sitting at 300. He definitely has at least some mass to give. Is he spending it all? No, he is not. Definitely can give a little bit of mass to his teammate if he so chooses to do so. 1 star of veterancy, 288,000 mass kill, 284 kills registered by that Mav. We're now targeting the side island over here, going after the T3 land facility. What blew up? Nope, more SACUs. And a couple of them are 2-star vetted, 3-star vetted, so very teched up, or vetted up, I should say, SACUs, but most of them have been destroyed. We don't see the hordes of 300 RASCOMs running around the map. I have seen that game where there's just so many RASCOMs. It's, you know, you don't have any more mechs, you just have RASCOMs. That's all you got. No reclaim either, just RASCOMs. But Pants needs to get underneath some shield coverage immediately. Looks like it's going to help the front line over here to the middle. And Navy Omni says VIP. Team 1's fleet has surrounded the beach position here. Looks like those nukes are about ready to load. Well, that's not going to be a good day. Does Team 2 have enough SMD to protect? They have 2. They have possibly 3. Terrari teleporting. Where are you going? You're going all the way over here, and then he's going to Billy Nuke on top of Foley's... Ooh, that's going to hurt. Foley moves immediately because he can probably sense the danger here, and Hathums actually move in to intercept. So, yeah, that's going to be very not fun here for Foley here pretty shortly. How close is Terrari to teleporting? He is halfway done. But he might make it, he might not make it. Chicken moving through the front lines, taking out defenses. Multiple Bat Boys focusing that Chicken. Chicken does die. SMD is still online. Shields are down. Artillery still firing. Terrari actually cancels the teleportation. And Nuke will launch here from Team 1's fleet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. The SMDs will not be able to deter that amount of firepower. And that is not looking good. That volley is inbound. Recall, says Terrari. Recall in Team 2. Recalls desync, but obviously we see what happened. Those nukes do not get the chance to land. And Team 2 loses. It looks like it was going to be a comeback here for Team 2, but it was not to be the case here for Team 2. They did a valiant effort, got that Mavor very, very early. Even 30 minutes is pretty early for a Mavor, especially on SETON'S. Well, maybe not necessarily especially for SETON'S, but it definitely it's definitely pretty quick considering. Team 1, of course, got a nice benefit from taking out the Comma VIP over in the west very early on. It definitely locked out Team 2 from the Navy on the northern side, and then eventually the southern side was able to be locked out by Team 1's RoboGear. Team 2 did score 2 kills on the Team 1, so not a flawless victory here for Team 1, but I'd say MVP... definitely has to go to Cheeseberry. I feel like he pressured the middle very heavily, forced back pants, was able to get a little bit of action over here, obviously with some assistance from RoboGear as well, landing those engineers all around the map. But I think RoboGear also did a very good job with that as well, just constantly harassing Team 2, and it's just a matter of attrition at that point. And had Team 2's Terrari focused more SMDs, I think he would have been fine, but it looks like he was building a comm with, he was a rear guard sub player. He built a teleporter and a Billy Nuke, and his plan was to tell a Billy fully notices that and went, not gonna deal with it. The moves, cancels the, of course, the teleportation out from Terrari, and that is it. I don't know what RoboGear was thinking going after the front line. Maybe he tried to go after the shield emitters. I don't really get the play, but let me know down in the comments what you felt about the match. And yeah, I think Cheeseberry definitely deserves the MVP for this game. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or not. Thank you so very much. It was a little bit shorter of a game than I normally cast here on the channel. Wanted it to be a little bit different for the 300. Nice little flavoring of course, the 300th cast on the channel. Thank you so much, not just for this video, not just for watching to, of course, the end of the video and all of that, but thank you for watching, whether you've been with me for 1 day, 10 days, 100 days, the lifetime of the channel. Thank you so very much. It's all thanks to you that I've continued on in my effort to cast 1 game every single day since I made that mission to do so. Thank you so very much for all the time and attention you give. Please, if you haven't done so already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and again, share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. And I will now cut it to see exactly how VIP died. I'm assuming it was by interceptors taking out the transport, but we will just have to see for sure. Thank you so very much for watching, and here is that cut. So we are back with VIP, and this is 9 minutes, 18 seconds almost. I've slowed it down very heavily so I can make sure I don't miss it. And he gets back on the transport. Transport is severely, damaged, so I'm very surprised he even got on it. And it looks like there is 1 interceptor that gets in right behind that transport, closes the distance. Looks like he's trying to transport, notices the interceptor way too late, and is trying to land. Should have just dropped right there. And there he goes, killed off by 1 lonely transport. And like I said, that is, I'm going to assume that's how he died, but that is the official viewing of his death. And that is it. Thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see all of you in the next one.